Hey, Russell of Hotels, going live just for a couple of minutes. Hope you guys are well. Happy Thursday. That's not like hump day, but happy Thursday. But hope you guys are. Did I say that already? Hope you guys are doing well. Do you ever catch yourself repeating the same stuff over and over again? Um, is that too much light on me? Is that better? No, there's a shadow there. Maybe I should move that light back. No, I don't like that either. Seems to be a glare. I mean, it's a glare there, but maybe that's better. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, hey, hope you guys. Repeat myself again. Russell of Hotels here. I do these lives every Monday through Friday, between the hours of 9 a.m. and 12 noon here in LA. That's where I'm located. And what do? I bring information about hotels, about tourism, things like that, real quick. Not too long. Hopefully, I don't spend too long. Talking about this, but yeah, I was downtown yesterday, downtown LA. I don't get down there often, right? But I wanted to go and see the progress of this one particular hotel. It's actually two hotels. It's a dual branded hotel. It's called it's a Marriott brand. It's AC and the Moxie Hotel. And they're close to being open. So April 4th of this year, just in a couple of months or a month and a half or so, it's going to be open, right? And it's like another almost 800 rooms for downtown Los Angeles, which is good, right? Right? It's right across from the convention center. I haven't been able to see inside of it, but I saw the outside of it. In fact, check my Instagram and my YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see the video that I posted of it yesterday. So yeah, so it's going to be great. It's going to be, like I said, add another um, 780 to 800 rooms to the market, which is always good, right? Especially if there's conventions growing, that means the convention goers have somewhere to stay, another place to stay, right? It's right across from Crypto Arena, which is where the Lakers, the Sparks, the Clippers currently play, the LA Kings, and of course a lot of concerts and things like that. And the Grammys were just there. Was that last week or 2 weeks ago? So lots going on downtown, but that's not the real thing I'm talking about, right? So that's fine. I didn't get a chance to see that hotel because it's not open yet. April 4th is the date, but I was downtown and I've wanted to see this hotel for a while. It's called Level downtown Los Angeles, right? So they have hotels in other states as well. They have them in, I want to say, Illinois, Chicago, and Vancouver, which is Vancouver, British Columbia, or in Canada, right? So yeah, so I had seen one about 5 or 6 years ago. I had seen a room 5 or 6 years ago. It's actually a three bedroom suite, right? So these hotel rooms are not your typical hotel rooms, right? It's not your typical hotel at all, right? So they got one room suites, two-room suites, three-room suites, right? When I mean suite, I mean the doors close off, right? Because you get a lot of some of these hotels, and it's a separate room or separate area, but it's not a separate room, meaning there's a door that closes, right? So, to create some privacy for the person in the room, right? But these are like that. They're like condos for the most part. They're your typical size of a hotel room is about 350 square feet, right? Well, these are 700 and up. Okay, so the minimum amount of space in a room is 700 square feet. So there's a lot more room in there. They have kitchens, they have washer and dryers in every freaking suite as well, right? And they all have balconies. So I'm like, man, I'm in love with this hotel. So it's called the Level, and the one of the best things about it, a good friend of mine who we used to work with, Craig, is a general manager there, right? And I've known that for a while. Craig has been there probably about, I think he told me about 4 or 5 years, right? But I haven't, and then COVID came up, and I wasn't able to go check it out. We'd always say, "Hey, come check out the hotel," this kind of thing, whatever, whatever. So what I did yesterday, and sometimes, people are busy, and I understand that, but sometimes it's up to us to just make a decision and say, "What did I'm sorry, the penthouse at the South Olive level, 18,000 square feet. Yes. That's beyond sick. Dylan. Okay, it is beyond sick. Yeah, and they have a pool up there. They have their own pool and spa. I didn't get a chance to take a picture of it because somebody was checking into it as we were looking at the checking it out. So I didn't get a chance to go upstairs and look at that, but it's unreal the amount of space in there. I mean, you think 18,000 square feet that I guess you really don't realize how much that is. You know, it's a lot, right? But to actually try to walk that space and see all the things, it has two kitchens in there. They have like a regular kitchen and then like a banquet kitchen because they do a lot of some people will rent it out and do a lot of different events in there. So they have a separate kitchen in there. So I'm like, this is crazy. A media room. Now I took a picture and this one is 4 bedroom, I believe, and it's just when I say sick, it's just ridiculous. Okay, but I did take some pictures of everything on that first level. I didn't, like I said, did not get a chance to take a photo or video of the pool up there. But I'll have to go back and do that. But yeah, so it's definitely that's huge for a home, much less a hotel room. Yeah, and just the people that they have staying in there. We met, one person's entourage is staying. I won't tell you who the person was that was staying there, but we met their entourage before this person actually checked in. So yeah, it's definitely for like people in the entertainment industry, being in LA and being close to downtown, like I said, close to like crypto arena and the convention center and all those kind of things. Some studios are down there and just people, their agents and all those kind of stuff are down there as well. So you get a lot of people in the entertainment industry to stay at this particular hotel. So it's kind of cool if you're into that kind of stuff. I've been there, and yeah, it's kind of cool, but it can be kind of crazy too, with other people trying to come in and things like that. But no, they do a great job there. They have a nice pool outside. They have a nice green space. They have a gym that's I mean just every piece of equipment that's in there that you can imagine to work out. They have it in there because they have a lot of athletes that stay there too, right? So you have to have those amenities for those people in order for them to stay there, right? So they have that. They have Peloton. They got everything, all the bells and whistles there. They have more than what you would even think. I'm like, wow, you got like, all this. You got free weights. They got squat racks. They got bench presses. They got Smith machine. I mean, they got everything in there, right? I was envious. I'm like, I need to come here and work out. I was going back to back in the days when I was playing football. I'm like, man, this would have been great. You know what I mean? Come here and work out. But yeah, no, it's definitely I think it just became my favorite hotel downtown, Dylan. I mean, that's all I can say, right? I think that's my favorite hotel downtown. So it's the level. It's 302 rooms. Like I said, they have 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, and of course that 4 bedroom, 18,000 square feet penthouse that they have as well. And they have a couple meeting rooms. They have about 4 meeting rooms, total about 2,800 square feet. So you can have small meetings in there, board meetings, things like that. And they get some of that stuff from kind of the downtown area. But one thing that was interesting about the conversations I was having with Craig, and it has to do with in the past before COVID, they did a lot of business with, of course, a lot of the companies and corporations that are based downtown. But and this was a great indication of the business traveler not coming back yet or has not arrived yet. They haven't resumed. He said we're looking at the skyline and he's like pointing out buildings. They haven't come back to the office. They haven't come back to the office. They haven't come back to the office. Meaning there are major corporations downtown that have not, meaning their workers have not come back to work on property or come to work physically, right? They're still working virtual wherever and not sure when that's going to happen because a lot of their business depended on that. The corporate business traveler, that's transient people, the transient, we call it the transient market, where it's just individual people traveling by themselves for a company or organization or whatever. So those people haven't come back. So they had to rely, or they're relying on different things because USC is in the area, so they rely on business from there. Um, so and some of the other stuff, the more entertainment stuff that they probably were taking, that they're taking more entertainment stuff than they were probably taking prior to COVID, right? So because once again, if you're getting a business traveler, you pretty much don't need anything else because Monday through Friday, that's what you're gonna get. Okay, the weekend stuff, okay, you throw your entertainment in there, your leisure stuff in there. That's how it was before. But now the market has shifted, right? So now you're heavy entertainment, you're heavy more leisure because now we got that bleisure component coming on, the bleisure factor. See, now you're relying on them, right? So people that are staying, they may be business people, but they're only staying, say Monday through Thursday as a business traveler, and then they're extending their stay Friday through Sunday, and then what are they? They're a leisure travel. Put that together, that's bleisure. That's what that means, right? So I've been talking about that for a while. So it's coming true, right? So it was interesting to just to have the conversation. I love going on, I love doing these site inspections or whatever, and learning about the hotel. But you ask the right questions, and you'll get more, not just you get information not just about the hotel, but what's going on in the area and what's going on, because that was a great the conversation we had. And he told me about, he's pointing out these buildings that these people have not come back to work yet. That's what's going on, right? People don't realize or they don't want to believe it, but companies have not gone back to work yet. So that's why hotels are scrambling for leisure business or any kind of business they can get. Now, they weren't taking a lot of sports groups. Now they're taking that. Now they're looking for that, right? Because they know those people still travel, right? Depending on the season or whatever. So entertainment stuff. Okay, we weren't heavy on entertainment. Well, now we're gonna go after those markets, right? Because those are people that are traveling, right? So you have to adjust what's going on. Salespeople and hotels have to adjust to what's going on, right? And another thing what we talked about that was, and I didn't even prompt this conversation, right? But he was saying, I was asking, well, hey, how's your sales team and things like that? And he said, oh, they're good, they're good. He said, but he said, let me ask you this. He said, we're starting to do more, like trade shows and things that I do, right, from a hotel site selection perspective. And of course, they're on the supplier side. And he says, hey, what do you think about people going to these things? I said, it's important that they go. And he said, before you finish, he said, I got issues with, we go to these things, or, and he said, this is maybe in the past at past hotels. We go to these things, and what happens after we come back? And I started laughing. He said, why are you laughing? I said, that is a conversation that I've had with myself for a long time, where I go to these trade shows or these shows, conventions, conferences, or whatever you want to call them, where we meet suppliers, right? We talk about, the suppliers talk about, their hotels and what they can do for a group like mine. And I talk about my group and what we can do for, suppliers like theirs, right? And the thing of it is, it's the lack of follow-up. And he said the same thing before I even said it. He said, well, what do we do now? Okay, we went to these shows. Obviously, you guys had a great time, but what happens now? What's the next step? And a lot of people, there's a disconnect between, what to do, to go to the show, but what do you do when you come back? You got to follow up. You have to continuously um, cultivate that relationship, right? Any business or whatever, you got to start asking more questions. You have to stay in touch with people. You got to pick up the phone. You got to email them. You got to do whatever you need to do. You have to continue the conversation that you had for those, because a lot of those times when we go to these shows, we're only the appointment part is no more than 15 minutes. Okay. So you're forming opinions, you're getting information, you're getting 15 minutes of that person's time, and they're getting 15 minutes of your time, right? Now, okay, is 15 minutes enough to start a relationship and to gain business? Hell no. So what do you have to do? You have to go back to your office. That's when the real work starts. You start, sending them things. You start asking more questions. You start, just continue that conversation with them. The conversation that you started, those 15 minutes that you got at that trade show or that convention or conference or whatever, you have to continue that, right? And that's one thing that he said. It was unscripted, right? I didn't throw anything out there. He mentioned that, right? So I'm like, man, I just laughed because I thought that was funny because he's experienced the same things that I am, but I'm on a different side, right? Um, so I said, and then he started asking me questions. Well, as a former director of sales and marketing, how did you hold them accountable, right? And then I went into, gave him some examples or whatever. So it's just one of those things. If you don't ask questions, if you don't, continue a conversation or whatever, you won't get information from people. Okay. So ask questions, ask open-ended questions, ask what's going on. If you're doing site inspections, what's going on in the area? How busy are you? What is your occupancy? What is the biggest market that supports your hotel? Is it entertainment? Is it leisure? Is it bleisure? Are you familiar with bleisure? I mean, these are a lot of questions that I ask because I want to know what's going on within the industry, the market of certain hotels happen to be. So I asked the same questions of people in Nashville. I was in Nashville last week, right? And I wasn't even there for business. I was there on a personal thing, but because I do my own thing, of course, I still want to know what's going on within that market, right? And what kind of business are they getting? So I asked those questions. I didn't have the ear of a general manager, but sometimes you get just as much information, if not more, from someone at the front desk, right? They just love to talk, right? So that's some of the things that I do, right? So yeah, so it was great. So I'm definitely glad I went. And this is what I forgot to mention this. I think I stopped saying what I was going to say. So him and Craig is the general manager there at Level downtown LA, right? And we have been like playing phone tag, like, oh, I'm busy here, I'm busy there. Oh, I can't make it here, I can't make it there. So just yesterday, sometimes you just got to say, you know what, just throw it out there and see what sticks. So yesterday, I just texted him and said, hey, I'm gonna be downtown tomorrow. Do you have any time? And he said, "Okay, he said, I got a couple, what he said? I have a couple different, two different availabilities, right? One was like 12 to 2. And I said, do you have anything earlier? He said, no, because I'm coming out of a meeting. I said, okay, 12 o'clock, I'll be there. Is that good? Is that cool? He said, yeah. Okay. So I just, that was it. I just said, hey, let's get it done because I really wanted to go see this hotel. And I was so pleasantly surprised. Like I said, I've been there before one time, but I only saw one suite. I didn't get the whole dog and pony show, right? So Craig showed me everything from soup to nuts, from top to bottom, from the rooter to the tutor. So he showed me everything, and I was actually kind of speechless. I said, dude, I said, you must love where you work, man, because just the stuff that the people that he deals with, and this is the thing about a general manager that gets it, okay? A GM that gets it. I said, you must have a lot of fun here. And he said, man, I come to work and I am so excited to come to work. He said it's unlike any other hotel he's worked in. His staff is amazing. The clients are amazing. I said, what does your job look like? I said, what do you want your job to kind of evolve into? Because we know GMs, they're involved in everything. He said, he said, at this point, I want to make sure I cultivate the relationships with my clients. With the He said my clients. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about, right? Because it's all about the client, right? It's not about anything else, right? I mean, it's about your employees, right? You take care of your employees and they take care of the clients, right? But how many GMs will say it's about the client? Not a lot of them. He said he wants to spend time and getting to know the clients and see how he can get more business, right? Because that's what it comes down to. So he's supporting the sales effort, right? So that is the greatest thing I've heard, right? So I'm like, because I had another conversation with someone just 2 days ago, and this person told me that they were in a meeting and the GM, general manager, who's in charge of the hotel, um, was upset because a salesperson did not make it to their staff meeting. Like, well, why is this person in this, and I'm paraphrasing this, why is this sales manager not available to make my meeting at, whatever the time was, 2 o'clock? And the person I'm talking to, that told me, said, well, because she is on a site inspection with a client. A client showed up, and she has to be with the client. She has to, that's what you do. That's what salespeople do. They spend time with clients. Because why would they spend time with clients? Because they bring more business, right? That's what we're there to do. That's what salespeople are there. But the GM, in his mind, the most important thing for him was his meeting, his staff meeting. And I always say this. This is the thing that I always say to people that I have conversation with, when they always tell me, "Oh, I'm in a meeting," and they're salespeople. "Oh, I have a meeting. Oh, I got to go to this meeting. Oh, today is meeting day." I said, "How much business have you booked in a meeting?" "And what do you mean? What do you mean?" I said, "That answer the question. How much business have you booked staying in one of these staff meetings or whatever the heck kind of meetings you guys have?" "We don't book anything." I said, "That's my point. You guys spend more time in meetings, that a staff meeting for a salesperson, and okay, either I'm gonna spend time with my client or I'm gonna spend time in a staff meeting. What the hell would you need to be in that meeting for?" So GMs sometimes have their head up there. Well, you know what I'm talking about. And this was a prime example. I said, and I told her, I said, I'm gonna use this the next live that I have, because that is simply ridiculous that a general manager in this day and age is upset at a salesperson because that salesperson opted to spend time with a client versus go to the meeting. I mean, it's comical, right? It's stupid. So, what did Dylan say? When you post this later, send me a link. That's a brilliant conversation. So, yes, of course. So, yeah. So it just, to me, it doesn't make any sense that, Anyway, I can go on and on about that, but general managers need to support the sales effort, right? Because, and I always say this, and this is something that I always did as a general manager, always did. I would let the sales team know, and I did as a director of sales and marketing too. I said I would let my sales team know, anytime you have a site inspection with a client, or lunch with a client, or you're meeting a client anytime in the hotel, let me know, because I want to come and meet them as well. I want to introduce myself and see if there's anything that I can do to assist, right? We all think that, oh, it's a salesperson's job to do it. No, it's everybody's job to do it. Everybody has to be singing from the same sheet of music, okay? There's no exception to that, right? So, but GMs sometimes think they're in this world of they don't have to do certain things, or they shouldn't do that. No, what world do they live in? I don't get that. And I'm, as you can tell, I voice my opinion about this stuff because I think you're missing out on a golden opportunity, because every GM is not doing it. Okay, so you always compete against that hotel that's across the street from you, hotel down the street, next to you, or whatever in proximity, or everyone in your comp set. So do something that your other comp set is not doing, because every GM is not doing that, and that's the sad part about it. GMs miss the point when it comes to um, meeting clients, or the sales process, or how important it is that that general manager comes by just to say hello. Not saying you got to sit down and have a whole grand conversation about things. You just coming by to say hello. You don't realize how much that carries, how much weight that carries, that the person in charge thought, thought this was more important than whatever the heck they were doing, to come and meet this client. Didn't matter if that client represented one room or 150,000 rooms a year. It didn't matter. If my sales team or catering or whatever had lunch with a client, let me know, especially if it wasn't even a signed deal yet, right? If they're on the fence, you want to make sure you have your butt down there and say hello, and just say, "Hey, is there anything we can do to, to gain more of your business, or to get this piece of business, or whatever? Hey, I'm here. Here's my card. I'm accessible 24/7. Just let me know, and we'll have a conversation. Yeah, you're not doing a salesperson's job. You're supporting your salesperson. Okay, so never think you're a general manager. Never think you're above that. Okay, so that's it. So I do these lives. I'm Russell of Hotels. I'm a hotel consultant. I do content creating for hotels and tourism boards. This is creating content, right? You didn't know that, right? But this is creating content. So, and of course, I have a passion for the industry, been in the industry, 14 different hotels, between 25 and 30 years of experience. I say between 25 and 30 because I left the industry for a while and I just can't remember um, how long I was gone and how long, my time, how much time I really have in. But it's at least 25, probably 27, 28 years, 30 years, something like that. But now I'm in more of a support role. Now I can help multiple hotels, right? With branding, like I said, through content creating. Um, I'm a host of my own show called On Air with Russell of Hotels, which is a live hospitality talk show that I talk about, things like this, um, and just throw out some positivity about the industry, right? And just put a different spin on things. So, and I also do training, sales training for general managers. Say general managers that don't have a lot of sales experience, and maybe they're new to this particular hotel or different markets or whatever. And I kind of teach them what to look for. I have a PowerPoint presentation like what to look for, and even if you have a sales staff, how to manage your sales staff, right? What to look for, what kind of things to ask of them, right? Maybe you don't know, what should I be looking for? What kind of report should I look for? What do my salespeople do? Because some general manager, they're afraid to even ask the question, right? Well, I'll tell you. So those are some of the things that I do. I mean, there's a myriad of things that I do, right, to help. Task force, I've done task force assignments as well, but mainly more branding than anything. And another piece of advice is, more directors of sales and marketing need to be more directors of marketing and sales. Do you get what I'm saying? Because these days, marketing is the key. Branding and marketing is the key. Getting your brand out there, letting people know that you are there, that, the awareness factor. And that those are some of the things that we kind of, as hotels, we kind of, we kind of missed we missed the mark on that, right? So we're not being as effective as we can. But my job is, like I said, is to assist in those things. So once again, Russell of Hotels, on air with Russell of Hotels is live on YouTube and LinkedIn every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. I'm in California, Los Angeles specifically. So anyway, that's it. You guys have a great day. And I do these lives not just here on YouTube daily, but I do them on Instagram as well. In fact, I'll do one in a couple minutes. That's it. Have a great day. Peace.